Another day begins. In Nokia, we are allowed to work fully remotely, but I like going to the office a few days per week. I changed 3 accommodations during my internship, so the way to Nokia differs, but mostly it included 2 transportation methods, usually a bus and a tram. This is me taking the tram E in order to get to the office. I like sitting next to the window and enjoying the beautiful scenery, especially when it is sunny outside. This is my absolutely favorite part with horses, which I see whenever I go, and I love horses, so this always gives me a boost of energy before going to work. There is a lot of construction going on right now in Finland, so a lot of the paths we would normally take are closed. That is why we have to take longer alternative paths. Still, the scenery is good to enjoy. Finally, after about 40 minutes, we have arrived to the office. For most of the day, I will be working on my project, which I will be talking about in the next part of the video. At around 12 or 12:30 p.m., which is very early for me, but it is when the Finns eat, we go to lunch. And sometimes we go to lunch with our team, the older members of the team, but mostly when the student cafeteria in Metropole is open, we go there with my fellow interns and we eat cheaper lunch. There are a lot of meetings which are for the whole cloud engineering team. We're always invited to attend and see what working in a big company is like. They do budget planning, discussion about goals for the next quarter, and what was achieved in the previous one. I also have one-on-one meetings with my supervisor on a weekly basis. My building has a pool table, so it is a tradition to play it after lunch. Sometimes I play with my team, sometimes with fellow interns, or sometimes with Mette. We got quite good at playing pool, and we played it almost every day that we came to the office. I usually come to work at 9:30 a.m. and leave at around 4:30 p.m. With 1 hour lunch break, this results in 6 hours of work, which I think is quite a lot when doing research. More than this and my brain gets fried. Our campus has 3 gyms, so sometimes I go to the gym after work with Mette, and other times I go straight back home. I try to go to the gym around 2 times per week. Every time that I go to the office, I spend 80 minutes commuting, so in the future a car is a must because this is a lot of precious time wasted. That's all for my workday. I did my internship in Nokia as part of the Nokia Engineering and Services Cloud team. The topic I was working on is computer vision for log analysis, and this topic was proposed by my mentor. The idea was to treat textual logs as images and get some useful information out of them. The whole pipeline was developed by me during the internship with some occasional guidance by my mentor. My project involved a lot of computer vision, such as image processing, convolutional neural network models, and then large language models and prompting, working with array clusters and unsupervised learning. It also required me to get familiar with their infrastructure and where the logs are stored, along with some information about them. I started with finding creative ways to translate text to images, specifically how to keep the temporal information that naturally comes with logs, their timestamps. I came up with 4 different methods for this. Then came the convolutional neural network part. I studied autoencoders and SIM-CLR model and wrote the code for them. I ran them on the array cluster, and this was my first time working with a remote cluster in such a way. After this, I worked with k-means, which is an unsupervised clustering approach, in order to get cluster data. Next was the large language model labeling part, which gave us human-readable description regarding the clusters. Lastly, I analyzed clusters coming from different methods in order to evaluate whether some groups of logs appear in a lot of smallest clusters. My internship experience was great, and the campus itself is really good.